Connecting the Campsie communities.
This is Eastern Bartonshire Radio.
Today, live from 4, the Big Glasgow Comic Show.
Michelangelo has like sofa tattoos. Leonardo.
Who tattooed a turtle?
I know.
On Mixcloud.
Through the seasons with Susie Kennedy.
Join me and my other half Pete, where we talk about the spring equinox and aspects of Easter and its increasing commercialisation.
Mixcloud.com/ED Radio.
Girl on Girl with Susan and Christina.
Only on Eastern Bartonshire Radio.
Hi, good afternoon and welcome once again to Christina and myself, Susan. This week's Girl on Girl, 10 things that make me happy. Recognise women for themselves, fake dating profiles, and what is a learning disability.
We can find our desires, but when we start making fires, we get ever so hot. Whether we like it or not, they say we can love who we trust. But what is love without loss? Two hearts with accurate devotions. What are feelings without emotions? I'm going in for the kill. I'm doing it for a thrill. I'm hoping you'll understand. And I let go of my hand. I'm going in for the kill. I'm doing it for a thrill. I'm hoping you'll understand. And I let go of my hand. I hung my hopes out on the line. Will they be ready for you in time? If you leave them out too long, they'll be withered by the sun. Full stops and exclamation marks. My words stumble before I start. How far can you send emotions? Can this bridge cross the ocean? I'm going in for the kill. I'm doing it for a thrill. I'm hoping you'll understand. And I let go of my hand. I'm going in for the kill. I'm doing it for a thrill. I'm hoping you'll understand. And I let go of my hand. Let's go to war to make peace. Let's be cool to create. I've been darkness with
And that was Madonna with In For The Groove, and before that it was LaRue with In For The Kill.
Good songs there.
Yep.
So, talking about things that are nice and making you happy, we have this week 10 things that make me
you
happy.
Yay.
Yes.
I tried writing a list and I came up with about 15. I'm easily pleased.
I think you are, but then again, so am I as well.
Yep. Wee things make me happy now, so there is a lot of them.
I like to make people smile. That's my big thing.
Yeah, I like
Even
that.
if I'm not feeling great myself, I think it's a way of compensating for how miserable I feel at that particular time.
No, I like that. I like if I've done something and it makes somebody smile a bit and stuff like that, and I see their wee smile and it makes me happy.
I do lots of random things, like I'll be walking down Buchanan Street and I might see really pretty girls. I think I've mentioned this before. You know, they're well dressed, they look attractive and everything else, and I will go up to them and say, I just needed to let you know how nice you really, really look. And they probably think I'm a weirdo, but they smile.
There was the one guy in that cafe in Paisley as well that you said, remember last summer? You says to him, what age are you?
Oh, right.
I don't think you're as old. I think you look a lot younger than you actually are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if that was a compliment, mind you, but I wanted to hide under the table because it was like a random stranger.
Yeah, but that's me. I am totally random.
I do like that though. I mean, I like giving people a hug and stuff like that. That makes me happy. Something that makes me happy. Like giving people a hug or getting a hug from somebody. I hug everybody.
I know, me too. Especially when I've got my cuddle coat. Everybody wants to come and... My cuddle coat is like a
great
hug,
big furry...
It's a hug magnet.
It is, it absolutely is. But I like just giving people a hug. I'll just go up and give people a hug.
Oh, yeah.
I'll see somebody that I like a friend or something walking up sort of... Like, especially if we're at the CCA and it's really busy, and I always think they should extend the beginning of our meeting time at the CCA so I can just sort of go around and hug everybody because I don't seem to have enough time to hug everybody I know.
But where was my hug when you got to the studio?
I was hugging Ryan.
Yes, she was hugging the baby, but where was your hug to the baby, Ian?
I was running away. I had preparation to do in the studio.
Yeah, right.
Ian, you know you're going to get like a big hug now.
Whatever.
We'll have him sick on your back.
Let's not.
But it'll make us happy.
Won't make me happy.
Fair enough.
So on this list about 10 things that make me happy, the flowers seems to come up quite a lot. Fresh flowers.
I like nice fresh flowers. I like just having nice fresh coloured flowers.
Some of them you can tell these are mostly by females. My boyfriend. Really?
Actually, my friends make me happy. Just
yes.
being out with my friends and just... That's another thing I wrote in my list, acting like a child and just carrying on and messing about with my friends and just... And another one is, you know that way when you laugh so much that you're like...
You can't breathe.
You can't breathe and you're like a seal, you can't talk, but you're doing that stupid seal clap that you can't actually... There's no noise coming out now when you're laughing. It's just silent laughing, but you're clapping like a stupid demented seal.
I wish we had webcams in the studio just for that bit there.
That's good.
Well,
that
if you think back to last week's show, when Saffron, Ian and myself, you were trying to speak and we were wetting ourselves.
But you know what it is? I was actually looking at the list of stuff sitting in front of me, so I never saw what you were laughing about or took in any of what was being said, and then it was only later that I was like, okay.
It was just one of those silly things, and I think that's the best laughter, when you're laughing over something so stupid.
And it happens a lot in school as well. You'd always find it happens in places where you're not really allowed to laugh. That's when the giggles really take hold. So school, middle of exam, something funny. Like I had my maths teacher, we were doing a big test, and my friend had turned around and said to me, have you ever noticed that his bald spot looks like a mushroom? So we giggled at that.
Oh my god.
Then I dropped my rubber and he came over, picked it up, and because he leant down to pick the rubber up for me, his bald spot was in my face. I was gone for the rest of that class. In 40 minutes, we were just giggling through the entire test. I've
actually done it on a film set. Like, had a giggles with the makeup artist, and actually Susan had made a funny noise. She'll tell you that she never, but she did.
This was a very, very serious
It was a really
film.
serious film, and there were a really serious bit where she was supposed to get kicked in the head, and I had the giggles, and like genuinely really couldn't stop giggling, and me and the makeup artist had to sit at opposite ends of the sort of room and no look at each other. And it'd been a really long day and we hadn't eaten anything, and my belly rumbled, and then that just set us off again, and that was it. And actually the director was shouting silence on set, and it it was killing me.
That would only make it worse. Like, stop laughing at it.
It was making it a lot worse.
The more recent one than that was when we were doing the 48-hour film project. And for those that don't know, this is a film. It's a competition, and you're given a genre at 7 o'clock on a Friday night. And from then, you have to write a script, get everything in place, make, edit, and submit the film for entry by 7 o'clock on the Sunday night. It is intense. You barely get any sleep whatsoever.
2 hours.
Yeah.
On a couch.
And on the Saturday night, we were so tired. We were actually in the process of filming, and I think I can't even remember what it was that happened. Somebody said something really, I think it was some innuendo.
It was.
And
I remember.
I corpsed. I had tears running down my face. But I like
things like that. That makes me happy as well. See a situation like that. There was like 10. How many is in that basement? There was about 10 or 12 years in that basement, just giggling.
Yeah.
Even though we were really tired and hungry and everything, just giggling. That makes me happy.
Oh, definitely.
Do you know what makes me happy?
What makes you happy?
Shoes.
Oh, do you know?
I can get on board with that as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you're into shoes, aren't you?
I'm always getting shoes as well. It's the one piece of clothing that I actually buy on, sort of.
I bet you don't have as many pairs as Christina.
I'd probably bet that as well. I've only got 20 pairs of shoes, which is a lot for a man.
Yes, it is.
Last summer I had 300 pairs. And I've bought about 100 since.
I used to do a job where I went door to door. It was a horrible job. I had to go door to door doing loft installation and that sort of thing. So you'd occasionally have to get into people's houses. And there was this one customer that we went to who had a room dedicated to his collection of purely Adidas trainers.
Oh, no.
Other trainers are available, of course. And he said he had about 400 of them, most of them unworn and unopened.
Actually, of all my sort of shoes, I do try to wear all my shoes. I do make an effort to wear them. But of all my shoes, the ones that are probably the least worn are my trainers. And that's because I'm lazy and I don't exercise.
I don't even have a pair of trainers.
I do, but I just don't wear them.
Yeah, that somebody's got on here, clothes, shoes and accessories make them really happy.
I like clothes, shoes and accessories. That is something that makes me happy.
I have a thing for coats.
I know.
Yeah,
she does.
I've even got a coat that I don't know if anybody can remember the Hug in the Mug advert for Cup
I saw you're hugging a mug coat.
Yeah, it's my coat is just like this Hug in a Mug person, animal, whatever it's supposed to be, this creature, and it's blue, it's fluffy and furry, and I've never seen another one like it. But I do like to buy unusual things. Holidays. They make people happy until they come home and then they get the credit card bills in.
And then they're like, oh God, I'm not happy anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And the phone bill, because so many people actually phone or Facebook or tweet when they're abroad, you know, this is me just going to the bar. Okay, right, okay. But that they don't realise it's actually costing them a fortune. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See something else that's on here? Somebody wrote Lottie Plum. What name?
Who?
That's her name.
Oh,
anyway.
Right.
Her number 4 on her list is sunshine. I love sunshine. If anything can make you happy, that sunshine.
I would say yes to that, except now that we've had so much of it and I can't sleep at night because it's too hot, I'm kind of like, you can go now. We've had you. Goodbye.
That's a
I just wanted
British
to stay.
thing.
But I just wanted to stay. That's another thing that makes me happy, wearing dresses and not being stuck in my jeans and jumpers. Mm-hmm. And I've wore a dress for like a week and a half every day. So I like the sunshine. But another thing that's on this girl's list as well is being cosy in bed on stormy nights.
Yes.
I love that. That makes me happy. See when the rain's hitting the windows and you're nice and dry and warm in your bed.
Yeah.
I love that. Makes me happy.
Yeah, I love that. I love it when my daughter, if she comes around to mine, sometimes she'll stay the night, and she comes and sleeps in my bed. Now she has her own house, and she has her own children, but it's just having my daughter next to me in the bed. It's just so comforting, and
that's another thing that makes you happy. Your daughter, your children. My daughter only sleeps in my bed if she isn't feeling well and she wants to keep me up all night. Can I get in with you, Mum? Okay.
So somebody on here, Naomi, she's put on there, her number 4 on her list is cut grass. Well, can I just say,
Doesn't it make me happy?
I love the smell of freshly cut grass, but I spent 3 hours yesterday cutting my lawn.
Except it wasn't yesterday, was it?
No, it wasn't yesterday.
It was sometime last week.
It was.
You're really bad at this pre-recording business.
I'm actually really good at it. She's just no.
I talking about cut grass. Yes, I love the smell of cut grass. I really, really do. And I think they should make an aftershave or a perfume out of the smell. But a few days ago, I was actually cutting my lawn. A few days ago, I was cutting my lawn, and it took me 3 hours. And although I do have a large back garden, it was because I cut the grass 4 weeks before. Don't give me dirty looks. Am I mentioning anything about trimming my bushes or anything?
Yeah, no.
I am now. Yes, it was just four weeks or so ago. My daughter and I cut my back grass.
Why does it always end up like this?
It's Ian's fault.
Because we just all knew that it was going to happen eventually. We're just waiting for you to stick your foot in your mouth.
So anyway, the grass was about 3 foot tall, and I was all achy after that. So another thing that makes me happy is massage. But there's nobody to give me a massage.
Don't look at me.
I don't look at you. I like that how you did look at him, and then he gave you that look.
No, actually, you would be the perfect person because there'd be no expectations at the end of it.
This is true.
Yeah, well, there you go. You see.
Enough. There you go. But what about the nice guy that Alistair was talking about that costs £30?
For a massage.
No, to mow your to mow your lawn.
Oh, to mow your lawn. Sorry.
Yeah,
low your mourn.
Instead of backwards. It's the heating here. I think it fries your brain.
I don't know if he'd travel all the way over to Paisley Road West though.
I don't know, but if he does, then I'm coming to watch. And you have to tell him to get his tap off.
Oh, definitely.
It's very desperate housewives of you.
I know. I'm not a housewife.
Well, I'll provide the iced tea and sandwiches.
Well, that's
and
really
things.
nice of you.
I know.
Some of them want to get used by you.
Girl on Eastern Bartonshire Radio.
Close your eyes. Does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like you've been here before? How am I gonna be an optimist about this? How am I gonna be an optimist about this? We were caught up and lost in all of our vices. In your pose as the dust settled around us, and the walls kept tumbling down in the city that we love. Great clouds roll over the hills, bringing darkness from above. But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like you've been here before? How am I gonna be an optimist about this? How am I gonna be an optimist about this? Oh, where do we begin? The rubble or our sins? Oh, where do we begin? The rubble or our sins? And the walls kept tumbling down in the city that we love. Great clouds roll over the hills, bringing darkness from above. But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like you've been here before? Oh, how am I gonna be an optimist about this? How am I gonna be an optimist about this? If you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all?
That was Pompeii by Bastille, and before that, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This by the Eurythmics.
And now we're going to talk a wee bit about something we were going to talk about in the last show, but we ran out of time because we blathered that much. We talk far too much.
We do, but who cares?
But it was something that bothered me, and it is recognising women for themselves, and not just because they've got a famous boyfriend or something like that. Women can be intelligent and have their own career and stuff as well, without just saying, oh well, look, she's with such and such, so that's why she's in the press.
Yeah.
It was actually an article relating to George Clooney's girlfriend that annoyed me, because she is an incredibly intelligent and independent woman, and she is just being recognised for being George Clooney's girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. Typically.
And there was actually an article in the paper that she was at a sexual violence conflict summit, and they didn't report on any of the stuff that she was talking about. They reported on her nice shoes and the fact that she's George Clooney's girlfriend. So, but I actually said that it was an article in the Daily Mail, and it was reported that her name's Amul Alamuddin. She was attending the End Sexual Violence Conflict Summit, that's what I was talking about. But it began with a headline that described her just as George Clooney's fiancée. No reference in the original article to her as a person or her detail or any details of her distinguished career as an international human rights lawyer. She's clever, she's intelligent. But it went on to say how she's planning her wedding to him, not even their wedding, how she's planning her wedding to him. And how stylish she looked in her red dress and floral heels.
Yes, I saw it too. The article had described how Amal's attendance at the summit allowed her to show off her slim pins, as if that was her primary reason for attending, rather than her interest in the vitally important issue of sexual violence itself. Followed by some patronising comments about how she was seen taking notes, as if this would be beyond the capabilities of a raven-haired beauty. The article has since been updated to tone it down slightly, but hey, the damage was done.
It was done there already. I mean, just referring to her like that, it's not that the coverage was offensive, and it started a campaign calling on Paul Dacker. Is that the editor's name?
Dacker, I think.
The Daily Mail, but to ensure his paper covers women for who they are, know what they're wearing, how good they're looking at, who their partner is. And it is clearly hit a nerve, because in the 6 days since the campaign launched, there was over 2,835 people who'd signed the petition, me being one of them. And I'm not sure why that it's saying that it's not sure why the particular article broke the camel's back, but it's something it needs to be.
Oh, it's an everyday occurrence for the
eye.
media, though, isn't it? I mean, especially the Daily Mail, to report on women who based on who they are married to, what they are wearing, and how good they do or do not look in it, and whether they appear slim or overweight. What the hell is what's in the head that matters?
Exactly. I mean, clearly, even if she's a good-looking woman, she's also got a good brain. She's also incredibly intelligent, and she is, like most women nowadays, she's intelligent and independent. She doesn't need to be with somebody famous to succeed.
Absolutely. I mean, there's, along with harrowing stories of the sexual violence and abuse facing women, one of the main themes running through the summit was the need to address the root cause of sexual violence. It's a culture that portrays women as objects, dehumanising them and taking away their identity and rights as women, as equal human beings.
Isn't that the whole cause of the summit, the whole reason for the summit is being forgotten about as well, because they're reporting on her being George Clooney's girlfriend. I mean, I hate the whole thing of being an object and not being sort of, people don't see me just for who I am. Like, even I was saying to you about coming in the train, I'm wearing a dress. I like a dress. I would rather be wearing I feel more comfortable in a dress than I do in sort of trousers, and that's just me. That's me as a person. And I came in, and an old man, I mean, well, I'm saying old, he wasn't that old, he was like late 50s, maybe early 60s, actually had a proper eyeball in the train, like looked me right up and down and looking at my legs, like actually looking at my legs on the train. And I'm sitting thinking, it's summer, I'm wearing a dress, I'm female, doesn't give you the right to sit and look at me like that on a train. It's the same as my neighbour. I've got a neighbour who I don't wear shorts in my back garden to sunbathe because he will have a look.
Yeah, it does make you feel uncomfortable, and it shouldn't be like that. But going on though, we seem to be in a culture that seems to see women in terms of whose partner they are. When I was married to my ex-husband, he actually when he finally left the army, he was a captain. When I first met him, when we got married, he was a sergeant, so he did work his way up through the ranks. But when he was a staff sergeant, before he got his WO2, officers' wives would talk down to me. I must admit that the wives were bad, and they were always known as, and I was always known as, Staff Sergeant Sutton's wife. And
I've been referred to that before.
Yeah, and the amount of times I turn around and say, no, this is me, I'm Susan.
You're such and such is.
Yeah.
No, I'm not, actually. I don't belong to somebody, so no.
And people would look down at you if you were below the rank, if you were the wife of a man who was below a certain rank of an officer. But attitudes did change from when he was a sergeant to when he was we split up and divorced. He was a WO1 by then. And the way people talk to you, it's completely different.
Like you're a possession. You're not a person in your own right. You're somebody's possession, which is, I'm nobody's possession. I belong to no one.
Exactly.
I don't actually know, but I never did in the first place, so I don't. I'm not a possession.
Yeah.
I'm not like your mobile phone. I own you, and that's... No.
Yeah, no.
I'm not.
It's like as you're growing up, you know, you have your family and your children start going to nursery and then school, and then they'll say, oh, you're little Johnny's mum. No, Johnny's my child. You know, kind of thing. I don't have a child called Johnny, by the way. But you know what I mean? You seem to lose your own identity.
Yeah.
You belong to, or as you say, you are a possession of.
Actually, I have a name. My name's Christina. I'm not somebody's such and such, or I'm not. I hate it. I just... But it's true, because we live in a culture that makes it okay. It seems to think that it's okay to portray women as like a clothes hanger, show off latest fashions and stuff like that, and you're an object for public critique, if I can even talk. Might not belong to somebody, but you'd want me when I can't talk. But it stops women being respected for who they are and what they can achieve as well. I mean, if you belong to somebody, if somebody thinks, oh, you belong to somebody, well, what if somebody starts thinking like that? Well, I'll just live off that person, and you stop trying to achieve what you've set out to achieve and stuff like that. And I'm also really ambitious. Like, if I've set a goal for me, then I'm getting that, and you're not getting in my way.
Oh, definitely. I mean, at the end of the day, it's to say nothing of the impact that this can have on the young girls and women growing up obsessed by and feel defined by their body shape rather than their potential.
Yeah, that's true as well. I mean, like, I've been on both ends of the scale about like my body shape and stuff as well, where I've been overweight and I've worried about that, and now I'm a bit underweight and worry about that, and I'm like, what will people think? How do I look like that? And who actually cares?
It's true. I mean, we say that to ourselves. Who cares what other people think? But deep down inside, you do.
Like, oh my God, I know.
Yeah. But, you know, if I can mention about our next guest, this is actually my daughter, and it's going to be about her battle and how people as well don't tend to take her seriously because she looks so young. She looks many years younger than her age. And
but she's also
she's highly intelligent.
Yeah, she's very, very intelligent, and she's also really strong-willed as well. She knows what she wants.
Oh, absolutely. So before we actually go into that, then we've got a request here. This is especially for Sanjay Lago, and it's Shakira featuring Wycliffe Jean and
Wycliffe Jean.
Right, and it's Hips Don't Lie.
Ladies up in here tonight. No fighting. We got the refugees. No fighting. No fighting. Shakira. I never really knew that she could dance like this. She make a man wanna speak Spanish. Como se llama? Bonita. Picasa. Shakira.
Oh, baby, when you talk like that, you make a woman go mad. So be wise and keep on reading the signs of my body. I'm on tonight, you know my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel it's right. All the attraction, the tension. Don't you see, baby, this is perfection.
Hey girl, I can see your body moving, and it's driving me crazy. And I didn't have the slightest idea until I saw you dancing. And when you walk up on the dance floor, nobody can ignore the way you move your body, girl. And everything's so unexpected, the way you right and left it, so you could keep on shaking it. Never really knew that she could dance like this. She make a man wanna speak Spanish. Como se llama? Bonita. Picasa. Shakira.
Oh, baby, when you talk like that, you make a woman go mad. So be wise and keep on reading the signs of my body. I'm on tonight, you know my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel you, boy. Come on, let's go real slow. Don't you see, baby, I see it's perfect. Babe, I know I'm on tonight, my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel it's right. All the attraction, the tension. Don't you see, baby, this is perfection. Oh boy, I can see your body moving, half animal, half man. I don't really know what I'm doing, but just seem to have a plan. My will, self-restraint. really can, but I can't. So you know that's a bit too hard to explain.
Dance like this. She make a man wanna speak Spanish. Como se llama? Bonita. Shakira.
Oh, baby, when you talk like that, you know you got me hypnotized. So be wise and keep on beating the size of my body.
Señorita, feel the conga. Let me see you move like you come from Colombia.
Mira, en Barranquilla se baila así.
En Barranquilla se baila así. Yeah, she's so sexy, I am at fantasy. A refugee like me back with the Fugees from a third world country. I go back like when Pac carried crates for Humpty Hump. We lead a whole club dizzy. Why the CIA wanna watch the Colombians and Haitians? I ain't guilty, it's a musical transaction. Bobo, zobo, no more do we snatch rope. Refugees run the seas cause we on our own boat.
I'm on tonight, my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel you, boy. Come on, let's go, real slow. Baby, like this is perfecto. Oh, you know I'm on tonight, my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to feel it's right. The attraction, the tension. Baby, like this is perfection.
No fighting, no fighting, no fighting,
no fighting.
And that was Shakira with Hips Don't Lie. And in the studio we have Susan's daughter Grace.
Hello, Grace.
Hello.
Last week was Learning Disability Week, and we wanted to speak a wee bit about that, but we also wanted to speak about the struggles that parents have if they have children in schools that have any sort of issues, and how the schools cope and that sort of thing.
Yeah, Grace, you've recently had to remove Tyler from his original school, and you had to homeschool him for what was it, 3 months?
It was about 4 months.
About 4 months.
Yeah.
Exactly why did that come about?
Well, basically in the process of getting a diagnosis, the school that he was in was not willing to change anything or sort of accommodate him in what could be a diagnosis, so that led to a lot of confrontations with some of the parents and things, and it ended up sort of I had to call the police on a few occasions because parents weren't happy with my son's behaviour, but because he wasn't allowed a wee time out or anything, he would get stressed out and he would end up hitting out, and it's not their children's fault, but it's not my child's fault either when the school wouldn't just give him a wee 5-minute break when he was being overwhelmed. So parents ended up screaming and shouting at him, and like I say, police were called on 2 occasions and had to just take him out for his own safety at the end of the day. He wasn't happy to be there. So
exactly what is the difficulty that Tyler's having? What's the learning disability?
Well, at the moment we're in the process of getting the diagnosis of Asperger's syndrome.
Yeah.
We've been through a long process, and we've been told by 2 psychologists this is what he has, but we're actually waiting at the moment to speak with the Glasgow Core Autism team to get official testing, which at the end of that we'll get the diagnosis that will be recognised by the government, and then we'll be able to people will maybe start listening to us then once he actually has the official diagnosis.
It's something we speak about a lot. It seems to something that comes up a lot here as well, is like that invisible illness again. I find the behaviour of some of the parents quite shocking, that the police have had to be called because of parents' behaviour when they're talking about a 5-year-old child.
Well, on one of the occasions when the police had to be called, when Grace had to call the police, I had gone to pick Tyler up from school. We were on one side. The parents had been told that they had to wait on one side of the playground and opposite end from the school. And as the children were coming out, all of a sudden, this really tall, scary-looking dad came charging over towards where I was waiting. I was actually talking with Tyler's teacher, and he came out and he was cursing and swearing, and he's saying, that effing Tyler has, you know, hit my kid, and this, that, and the other. Now, this child had often hit Tyler.
Yeah.
We know that for a fact. But we'd not said anything because children do these things. Anyway, I kept asking him to calm his tone down because he was swearing so much. There were parents around, there were other children. You could see other children were getting visibly distressed.
Yeah. I mean, he's in a school full of children.
Well, that's right. And I asked him if we could take it off the school grounds, outside of the playground, and a friend of his was saying, well, what difference is that going to make? And I said...
A big difference.
A huge difference, yeah. And then the next day, one of the other parents who'd often spoken to us and never said anything negative before, all of a sudden she seemed to jump on the bandwagon, you know, oh, well, Tyler is supposed to have done this, that and the other, which we found out later was not true.
See, that's really poor behaviour for adults. I mean, they're talking about a child misbehaving, but they're acting worse themselves than a child.
Yeah, but the thing is that even though we were trying to explain to them that Tyler has sensory issues, all they kept saying was they're not interested at all.
That's really poor behaviour. I mean,
I think, like you say, the invisible disability.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are just want to close their eyes to it.
That's right.
They just think that we're making it up or making excuses for him.
Because you haven't brought him into school with a broken leg, they can't see the illness, and they're saying, well, it can't be there.
Or they think you have no control over him as a parent. I mean, I know how old you are, and you look much younger. You look about 16, 17, and you are a lot older. You're not old. But anyway, do you find that people don't take you seriously because you look so young?
Yeah, I think so. A lot of people are just kind of judgmental. I think a lot of people can just do that. You know, everybody makes a snap judgment when they first meet somebody. But I think that's what frustrates me quite a lot, because I did feel in the last school that a lot of people did think that I didn't do enough. And, you know, before we found out that it could possibly be aspergers, I went for numerous parenting courses, and I was doubting myself. You know, I thought it was something I was doing, but I've been quite reassured now, because since we've been going down this route, I've had psychologists telling me there's nothing more they can tell me or suggest to me to do, because I'm doing it all right. Which is amazing to hear that, because for years I felt like I was doing something wrong. But it's reassuring. No, I wasn't doing anything wrong. I've been trying my hardest. And
I mean, we've spoke about the behaviour of the adults in the playground and that type of thing. What about the actual overall attitude of the school and the headmaster or headmistress and the teachers and that type of thing? Because I know you've had some difficulties.
Yeah, well, I fought to get Tyler into this school because I had heard it had such a good reputation, and that was mainly down to the headmistress at the time. It just so happened the year we got Tyler in there that the headmistress had left, and a new headmaster had came in. And I can understand he was under pressure. He was learning a new school and everything, but he had blacklisted Tyler from day one.
Which is pretty poor on his part as well, and pretty unprofessional. I mean, surely if you're working with kids, you have to treat them all as equals till you get to know them and then sort of help them.
So, I mean, he was going to the the nursery school, which was attached to the school. Obviously before he went into primary one, so Tyler's, if you like, reputation preceded him, but Tyler had an exceptionally good teacher at the nursery who was very understanding, but the new headmaster just didn't seem to take.
Was he a young headmaster? No. Which I find strange as well, because
well, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure how long his head teaching career will last, because he actually was very unprofessional. I heard him shouting at children, and I had him leave voicemails on my phone, shouting at the phone, shouting down the phone at me, saying he was angry at Tyler, and I'm personally think that he shouldn't bring emotions into it.
No, he should be professional. It's his job.
Yep, definitely. But I think moving on from there, we're just going to have a little radio break, and I think this one is quite an appropriate title for the headmaster. This is Rude Magic.
Saturday morning, jumped out of bed and put on my best suit. Got in my car and raced like a jet all the way to you. Knocked on your door with heart in my head to ask you a question, 'cause I know that you're an old-fashioned man. Yeah. Can I have your daughter for the rest of my life? Say yes, 'cause I need to know. You say I'll never get your blessing till the day I die. Tough luck, my friend, but the answer is no. Why you gotta be so rude? Don't you know I'm human too? Why you gotta be so rude? I'm gonna marry you anyway. Marry that girl. Marry you anyway. Marry that girl. Yeah, no matter what you say. Marry that girl. And we'll be a family. Why you gotta be so I hate to do this, you leave no choice. Can't live without her. Love me or hate me, we will be boys. Standing at that altar. Or we will run away to another guy that say you know she's in love with me. She will go anywhere I go. Can I have your daughter for the rest of my life? Say yes, 'cause I need to know. You say I'll never get your blessing till the day I die. Tough luck, my friend, 'cause the answer's still no. Why you gotta be so rude? Don't you know I'm human too? Why you gotta be so rude? I'm gonna marry you anyway. Marry that girl. Marry you anyway. Marry that girl. No matter what you say. Marry that girl. And we'll be a family. Why you gotta be so Can I have your daughter for the rest of my life? Say yes, 'cause I need to know. You say I'll never get your blessing till the day I die. Tough luck, my friend, but no still means no. Why you gotta be so rude? Don't you know I'm human too? Why you gotta be so rude? I'm gonna marry you anyway. Marry that girl. Marry you anyway. Marry that girl. No matter what you say. Marry that girl. And we'll be a family. Why you gotta be so yeah. Why you gotta be so Why you gotta be so rude?
Girl on Girl.
Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Once I rose above the noise and confusion, just to get a glimpse beyond this illusion. I was soaring ever higher, but I flew too high. Though my eyes could see, I still was a blind man. Though my mind could think, I still was a madman. I hear the voices when I'm dreaming. I can hear them say, carry on our wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Masquerading as a man with a reason. My charade is the event of the season. And if I claim to be a wise man, it surely means that I don't know. On a stormy sea of moving emotion, tossed about I'm like a ship on the ocean. I set a course for winds of fortune, but I hear the voices say, carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. No! Carry on, you will always remember. Carry on, make it equal the splendor. Now your life's no longer empty. Surely heaven waits for you. Carry on, my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry. Don't you cry no
And that was Kansas with Carry On My Wayward Son. Coming up, we'll have more from Grace and more about the learning disabilities and the struggles of the parents and the children. And we will also have more on our fake dating profile.
Yay!
I'm still not back on the site. Probably not going to get back on the site, but I'll just re-register. But we have that and loads more.
Eastern Bartonshire Radio.
Brand new to Bishop Briggs Media Centre, Venomous Ink Tattoo Artist, where you can get custom work, flash work, names, kanji, along with tattoo cover-ups, call or pop in for a consultation at Room 1 at 18 Crowhill Road, G64 1QY, or call them at 07974 884660.
More Business Anyone is a chance for local business people to meet up and swap information over breakfast. Come along and join the chat anytime between 8:30am and 10am. Meet local business people, make contacts, and start building your business connections over a friendly chat with tea, coffee, and a breakfast roll. No hard sell and no presentations. You'll be growing your business and connections the friendly way. Start your day with a positive boost from your business and see the real value of MBA. Meetup.com/more-business-anyone.
Girl on Girl with Susan and Christina.
Only on Eastern Bartonshire Radio.
Romance.
wasn't enough. I'm like, forget you and forget her too. Said if I was richer, I'd still be richer. No, ain't that some shit? And although there's pain in my chest, I still wish you the best. Forget you. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't afford a Ferrari, but that don't mean I can't get you there. I guess he's an Xbox and I'm more Atari. But the way you play your game ain't fair. I picture the fool that falls in love with you. Oops, she's an old girl. Well, just don't you know. Ooh, I've got some news for you. Yeah, go to run tell your little boy free. See you driving round town with the girl I love, and I'm like, forget you. I guess the change in my pocket wasn't enough. I'm like, forget you and forget her too. Said if I was richer, I'd still be richer. No, ain't that some shit? And although there's pain in my chest, I still wish you the best. Forget you. Now I know that I had to borrow, beg and steal and lie, cheat, trying to keep you, trying to please you. Spend a love with your ass ain't cheap. Now I picture the fool that falls in love with you. Oops, she's an old girl. Well, just don't you know. Ooh, I've got some news for you. Ooh, I really hate your ass right now. See you driving round town with the girl I love, and I'm like, forget you. I guess the change in my pocket wasn't enough. I'm like, forget you and forget her too. Said if I was richer, I'd still be richer. No, ain't that some shit? And although there's pain in my chest, I still wish you the best. Forget you. Now, baby, 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 why you wanna hurt me so bad? So bad, so bad, so bad. I tried to tell my mama, but she told me this is one for your dad. Yeah, she did. And I'm like, why? Why, baby? I love you. I still love you. I see you driving round town with a girl I love. Forget you. I guess the change in my pocket wasn't enough. I'm like, forget you and forget her too. Said if I was richer, I'd still be richer. No, ain't that some shit? And although there's pain in my chest, I still wish you the best. Forget you.
That was CeeLo Green, Forget You, and before that, Bad Romance with Lady Gaga. Right, we've still got Grace in the studio with us, talking about the way she's been battling schools and the Education Authority to help her son Tyler, who has, although it's not been officially diagnosed yet, Asperger's.
Yeah. I'm actually reading a wee bit here that I printed out for the internet, and it's saying that although all children can behave in ways that are difficult to deal with, and I know that as a parent, I mean, there's the terrible twos and all the tantrums and everything, every kid does it, but like having tantrums, kicking, throwing things, but in children with learning difficulties, the behaviour could be more frequent and extreme, and it could often be because they can't express what they feel at the time, and that's their way of sort of getting it out, like be throwing a tantrum or kicking off and stuff like that. I mean, people need to realise that it's actually, that's their way of expressing how they feel. But you have had some sort of, I know you homeschooled for a while, but I know you've had some success now in getting them into a sort of better school that's more understanding.
Yeah. I've got them into a school now that's it's still a mainstream school, but it's called a nurture school, so they have all the teachers have had a lot of training and things like that, and there is like a quiet place for kids to go when they are feeling overwhelmed. That's for a lot of different reasons, lots of different disabilities and things like that, so it's the best kind of place for him to go. In relation to the
expressing how they feel in the temper tantrums and stuff like that.
It definitely is. Like, I can only speak for like Asperger's syndrome, but he struggles. He doesn't know what's wrong with him. Sometimes he doesn't know he's overwhelmed. We've figured out now that it's loud noises are the most. Well, not even just loud noises, but when there's a lot of different sounds going on. I could liken it to if you're in the train station with your friend talking to you, you just listen to your friend, and everything else is background noise. Whereas somebody with Asperger's or autism, they can hear their friend talking and the train's going and the clock ticking and the birds chirping, and it's just it's overwhelming. And usually my son Tyler will just put his hands over his ears, and that's a sort of a warning sign.
I mean, that would be overwhelming for an adult, but for a 5-year-old child, that is bound to be so much to try and take in. That's bound to be really difficult. And then all the sort of difficulties that he's got on top of that with dealing with how people react to him and stuff like that, that has to be a lot for a child to cope with.
He's only just starting to understand, like through talking to him about it and everything, that this is why he feels like he needs to put his hands over his ears. He was never sure of why he did that or why he was overwhelmed, and that would bring the frustration. But through talking to him and everything, now he realises, okay, I'm frustrated. Oh yeah, there's a lot going on just now. There's people running around and the teachers telling me to do this and everything like that. So it's good that he's starting to recognise it, and he'll tell us now. Oh, today at school I felt a bit stressed out because there was lots happening. So
that's really good that he's learning to do that. But it's bound to be a really long learning process for both of you, and a long journey for both of you.
Oh, definitely. It's
Grace kind of picked up on the possibility that there was something, in inverted commas, wrong with Tyler from when he was only about 6 weeks of age. And because he wouldn't look you in the eye, would he?
No, I was studying psychology at the time, and I came across autism before, and I know about the social awkwardness, and he was only a few weeks old and he would never look me in the eye, and I made the comment to a few people that you know, I wasn't really sure of what I was saying, but I said, you know, I wonder if he's autistic, he won't look me in the eye. But even I felt silly saying it at such a young age, and I kept quiet about it for many years after that, because I was studying psychology. I didn't want anyone to think I was just trying to make a case study out of my child. And so in a way, years down the line, when I speak to psychologists and they're telling me this is what we think is wrong with him, in a way it's kind of relief, because I've seen the signs, I've known about the signs, and I've seen them over the years. So
although as a parent you actually worry about your child and getting a diagnosis, it is probably a good thing to actually then know what is up, and then how you can go forwards and deal with it. That's bound to be a relief in itself.
It is, yeah, because a lot of people ask me, how do you feel about this? Are you really upset? And no, I'm quite relieved, because it means that he can get help with his life. I mean, I just want to say there's so many famous people that have done brilliant things with their life that have Asperger's syndrome. Albert Einstein, Marilyn Monroe, you know, because I'm on the spot, I can't think of any other names, but if you go online you'll find the list is endless.
I
These
think
really great people.
If you have a diagnosis and then you know how to deal with it, what's to stop you if you're doing everything that you planned out in your life and having a great life?
I mean, Tyler is so intelligent.
I've met Tyler and he is absolutely lovely. He's just a lovely kid, and he is so, he's intelligent, and he can be quite shy and quiet, but he's also, like, if you tell him to do something, Tyler will do it, and he gives me a hug, and that's nice. But he's just such a nice kid, and he is so intelligent.
Yeah. I mean, he has his moments, of course, but they aren't frequent. I would say they're not frequent. But you struggled, though, to have him homeschooled, and eventually you did actually get help from the education department 2 hours a week on a Monday and a Friday.
Which helped so much, even though it was only 2 hours a week. It really did help. But this was going back to his previous school. The headmaster being absolutely useless is I actually had the receptionist tell me he was ignoring me on purpose in my messages. But I'd kept calling to remind him that he'd promised me this tutor, and it took I think it was roughly about 10 weeks, and on the final call I'd sort of said, if you don't get back to me, I'm going above your head and everything, and lo and behold, the next day he got this the tutor
terrible,
in place.
Well, I'd actually gone in as well, and I told him to his face, you're letting us down. I don't think you're doing a good job. And why are you ignoring my daughter's phone calls and emails? And he actually turned around and said, I didn't receive any. And I looked him straight in the eye and I said, I think we both know that that's not true.
That really shocks me. That a man in his position is so unprofessional. That really absolutely shocks me.
We've heard a lot of complaints about him, and we will be very surprised if he does go back for a second year.
Yeah.
As a headmaster.
What as well, I know you homeschooled for a while. What was the attitude of the education board and other people and that type of thing to you taking Tyler out of school and homeschooling him?
Well, at first they were very understanding, because I explained the whole situation of what was going on at school and everything, and they were completely on my side, which I was over the moon about. It did get to the point, like I say, it was maybe 4.5 months that I was homeschooling him for, and it became a bit of a it became a bit strained after that, because I had put a placing request in for this school that wasn't so close to me, but I had this nurture department and I thought it was the best place, and there is an 8-week sort of limit to them getting back to you to let you know they can get into that school. So I was having to wait, and I was phoning every single week, sometimes several times a week, to try and get to find out the answers if he was going to get in. And then on maybe the 6th week, I actually had the headmaster of his old school phone me and tell me that the local authority were putting pressure on him to put pressure on me to get Tyler back into school.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm sort of saying, well, I'm putting pressure on the local authority by phoning them every week, so it's a bit, I think there's a lot of miscommunication. I do think they mean well, but in exceptional circumstances, I think there's, they
really struggle.
They really struggle. They're not in contact with each other enough, and
I think that's quite a shame, because that's a child's future you're talking about. Absolutely. That's their education and their future.
And he wasn't able to excuse me, he wasn't able to have that social interaction with the kids as well.
Yeah.
Even though there had been problems, if there was more understanding from the teachers to be able to explain it to other children, sometimes this is what happened. But Tyler, he missed out on 4.5 months worth of interacting with other children
his own age. It does a child world a good to be away from their parents and be with children their own age and stuff like that.
So Tyler started at this new school, just over a week ago now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And how do you feel he's actually getting on?
Well, I feel within the first 3-4 days of him starting that school, they've done more work to help Tyler than he got in over half a year with the previous school. On the first day, when we explained to them, we just sort of explained it as sensory issues, and that his warning signal is putting his hands over his ears. He needs a time out every now and then. Whereas with the old school, we got completely ignored. With this school, they announced that to the class. Tyler's had a few instances where he's been overwhelmed, and they've took Tyler away and given him his own space, which he is over the moon about. Mm-hmm. He's been doing so well. His behaviour's been brilliant. I mean, I know it's early days just now, but I'm so happy with the way that they've just accepted Tyler the way that he is, and they don't see that they're making exceptions for him.
That's wonderful. I mean, that's absolutely fantastic.
It's just a shame that he's only been able to get into this school within 2 weeks of them breaking up for the summer holidays, but it is now something for him to look forward to.
Absolutely.
Rather than dread. And he, when I've seen him after school, it's just so he does seem so much happier and excited.
Yeah, and especially with being his first year at school, to have that sort of as your first experience of school when it's been so bad, that's bound to put a child off future education. I mean, if they're going into that and thinking, is this education, is this what school's like, that's bound to put a child off.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, while you were homeschooling him, you have a friend who's also just recently qualified as a teacher from university, and she was amazing and came forward and said to you, right, I'll take Tyler a couple of days a week and I will, help with the homeschooling. And I remember there was one day you said to me that her son is Tyler's best friend. They're just a few weeks apart. And she took Tyler with her to the school to pick up her son. And she'd asked Tyler, would you like to go in? And what did he say?
He was petrified. He didn't want to go in, and she didn't want to leave him in the car himself, so she took him into the playgrounds. And when the bell rang and all the kids started coming out, he was cowering behind her. He was petrified, and she was quite shocked that he reacted that way. She thought he might be excited because he was going to pick up his best friend from school and everything, but she said it was not the reaction she expected at all, and he was really quite frightened to be there, and he just said, you know, he really didn't like school anymore. So,
but then that's bound to be for his experiences. I mean, that would put anybody off. But what sort of attitudes have you had for friends and family in that as well? I mean, I know your mum's incredibly supportive, but sort of your other friends, family, what has that been like?
All my friends are very supportive. Everybody generally is very supportive. I think there are some people in our life that they're not as involved in our life as maybe they could be, and they seem to think that we are. I think you're always going to have it. Some people, not my son, not my, you know, they just think, oh no, there's a lot of naysayers out there.
It's the parents' fault, people.
Yes.
Yeah, I've met people like that. It's the parents' fault.
But I think that's down to, again, the hidden disability. You know, people will argue that it doesn't exist. And, you know, it's all in your
when
head.
When it does, it clearly does exist.
I mean, it's very frustrating. When my son was a toddler, he used to sort of, it was as if he had selective hearing, and I did take him to the health visitor and the doctor, and I kept saying, you know, there's something not right, he's not listening to me. And again, they were saying selective hearing. His behaviour left a lot to be desired at times, but not constantly. And I kept pushing because as a mother, you know your child. You do know your child. Eventually, we got a diagnosis of ADHD. I wasn't looking for a diagnosis of that. But I just wanted to know what the problem was. He also had very reduced hearing. Eventually, they took him into hospital and gave him grommets in his ears, and you know that made a big difference. Yeah. But again, I was labelled as paranoid and neurotic and everything else. But he did get excluded from classes. You know, he was labelled as a naughty child, disruptive. And I would say to the teacher, "What do you mean he's being disruptive?" And they said, "Well, when I'm asking a question of the class, he just shouts out the answer. He's not giving the other kids a chance to answer." And I said, "Okay, I can understand that. Yeah, but were his answers wrong?" No, the teacher would say. You know, so again,
people need to be a bit more understanding.
They do.
They need to have a bit more sympathy for the fact that not everybody's the same.
Yeah.
See as well, I know you're seeing a psychologist, but do they prescribe medication or?
I'm not sure if they do, but even if they did, I would look for every alternative to that.
For your child,
yeah, that's just my personal preference. I think everybody, you know, I'm not saying anyone that would go down with medication would be wrong. But me personally, I would try everything else. I have found that changing his diet, making him E-number free, really helps with the behaviour side of things, so I'll stick to that.
Yeah. What about, as well, do you have any advice that you would give to any parents listening that are in the same situation that you've been in? What sort of advice would you give them?
Just that, be patient. It takes time. It takes a lot of time. Don't doubt yourself. You know, research and if you really think there's something like that, go to your doctors and get the help. It will take time, but you'll get there in the end. Be persistent. Definitely be persistent. And follow your instincts.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Follow your instincts, definitely. Right, we're going to go into another song now, and this is Girls Aloud, Sound of the Underground.
Water's running rising from the floor below, and then it drops and catches like fire. It's a sound I, it's a sound I, it's a sound I, it's a sound I. It's the sound of the underground. Beat of the drum goes round and round into the overflow. When the girls get down to the sound of the radio, out to the electric night. When the bass line jumps in the backstreet light, the beat goes around and round. It's the sound of the sound of the underground. It's the sound of the sound of the underground. It's the sound of the underground.
And that was Girls Aloud with Sound of the Underground. I just would like to thank Grace for coming in and sharing with us her thoughts on what the sort of things she's experienced.
Yeah, it's very brave of you. I know you're a bit... you weren't too sure about coming in, but I'm glad you did.
I'm glad too.
I'm sure there's many listeners out there.
It's opened a few eyes.
Yeah, absolutely. But onwards and upwards.
Yes. We are going to talk about something that we talk about every single week. We are not desperate, but we do go on fake dating profiles.
We do. Yep. It's great fun.
We will be talking about that after we listen to Bob Marley and the Wailers with One Love.
One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Hear the children crying. One love. Hear the children crying. One heart. Saying, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Saying, let's get together and feel alright. Let them all pass all their dirty remarks. One love. There is one question I'd really love to ask. One heart. Is there a place for the hopeless sinners who has hurt all mankind? Just a Savior's own belief. One love. What about a one heart? One heart. What about let's get together and feel alright? As it was in the beginning. One love. So shall it be in the end. One heart. Alright. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. One more thing. Let's get together to fight this holy Armageddon. One love. So when the man comes, there will be no doom. One soul. Have pity on those whose chances grow thin. There ain't no hiding place from the Father of creation. Saying, one love. What about the one heart? What about the let's get together and feel alright? I'm fleeing to mankind. One love, one heart. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will.
Girl on Girl on Eastern Bartonshire Radio.
Feeling my way through the darkness, guided by a beating heart. I can't tell where the journey will end, but I know where to start. They tell me I'm too young to understand. They say I'm caught up in a dream. Well, life will pass me by if I don't open up my eyes. So that's fine by me. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost. I tried carrying the weight of the world, but I only have two hands. Hope I get the chance to travel the world, but I don't have any plans. Wish that I could stay forever this young, not afraid to close my eyes. Life's a game made for everyone, and love is the prize. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost. Didn't know I was lost. I didn't know I was lost. I didn't know I was lost. I didn't know.
Right, now, as Christina said before we went into our song break there, we're going back into our fake dating profiles. Oh, and just to say, before you carry on, we now have a baby in the studio.
Yay!
Little
It's
Ryan.
lovely.
Yes.
He's also very curious. He's looking at everything.
Yes. He loves the lights. He'll probably realise there's a microphone in front of him as well and maybe snatch that. But
I might snatch him.
I think he's teething at the moment, so you may hear little gurgles and screams and cries.
I had a bite at my arm.
I can see the hairs on Ian's hand, on his arms, standing up. He's going.
Oh, he's not a baby
panic mode.
person.
He's not.
Just not a baby person.
No. So anyway, fake dating profiles, and which is all down to Ian, by the way. This is all his fault. Oh yes.
What do you mean it's my fault?
You're the one that tells us to do this.
You're the one that kept talking about it. I thought, what's a good way of talking about it? Let's get us on it and actually try and see what happens.
We're Ian's little experiment.
Of course.
Yeah, well, we can. The tables can turn, you know. You can become our experiment as well.
Actually, do you know what? I should just take a picture of him and put it on a dating website or something? See what happens?
I could pinch his Facebook profile pic and use that as my fake profile because
That
I'm
would be
doing
so
the
cool.
man one.
See how many people you get in.
Yeah. Wait, can we
She
do
might
that?
write some things that you would never agree with, though.
If you keep it straight, yeah.
Oh no, it would be definitely straight. Yeah,
Straight, yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't want to ruin my reputation and
No,
stuff because
no.
it actually matter, but
No. Purely for the purposes of the experiment.
Anyway, as we know, I got barred for a dating website for putting up a fake profile. Nobody wants me.
Oh, bless.
But whilst trying to get back on or anything, just see if they'll have me. Nobody else will have me, so the dating profile thing me won't have me either. But I found a thing about fake dating profiles online, and it said that 1/5 of dating profiles are completely fabricated, which a survey found.
I can't believe that, though. I really, really
Absolutely.
can't believe that.
people like us that just get a bit curious about it and go on, what's going on there?
Well, do you know, when I was actually looking, because I've set up a male profile, when I was actually looking for images of normal looking men, if you like, I Google, I wrote into Google, it was something like, was it just men's photos? I think that's all I put in. Anyway, as they all came up, if you hovered over the vast majority of these pictures, it actually came up saying, well, it comes up with showing you what the website is, and they're all fake.
Totally.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. It said here that the poll of 2,000 people found that 18% admitted to lying about their age. See, I don't care who knows my age. I'm not going to get any younger.
I don't
so
lie about my age.
You just don't tell people.
Don't tell anyone at all.
It says 28% exaggerated their financial status. Well, I'm not impressed by all that stuff.
No.
Anyway. Then 10% admitted to faking where they lived. Why would you fake where you live?
I know. I mean, the thing about exaggerating your financial status. So what? They're basically, these guys,
they're saying they're rich when they're not.
Yeah, and they're just trying to. They are attracting the wrong sort of woman anyway. But
I mean, I genuinely don't care. We spoke about this in the last show, but I don't care.
No.
I don't care if you're rich or you drive a nice car or you live in a big house or you have like the best job in the world or anything. I don't. Why are you used to laugh?
I'm sorry, but it helps.
I used to laugh
because I'm wondering why you went all Shania Twain on us.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe I was just listening to that before I can. No, actually, I'm not impressed. It doesn't impress me much, though. I'm not impressed. So, but I think as you get older, then you're a little less fussy.
Grace, would you go on a fake dating profile? Not a fake one, but no. But I mean, previously, would you have ever gone on a dating site?
Ryan wants to talk to the microphone.
No, well, I've never. Obviously, I've been with Graham for 8 years, so I've not had the need to. If I was single, what, a fake one?
No,
a
would you
real
just put up a real dating profile?
Yeah. Well, if
See, I wouldn't, but it's just me personally. As a person, I wouldn't personally. I said personally a lot.
Grace was the one that persuaded me to go on a dating site in the first place several years ago.
I think in this day and age, people don't get out as much. You can't. You get, especially if you've got kids, I don't know, and you're a single parent, you can't really go out to pubs and clubs or the places where you used to meet people. So.
See, I'm fortunate in that I do get out a lot. I mean, I am a single parent, but I have a lot of support, kid-wise, babysitting stuff. I do get out a lot, but I'm actually just, I've not been bothered to look, so I don't know. I guess it's just, if I meet the right person, I want to meet the right person, like getting to know them and stuff with it, online stuff.
And I've seen on here on the list, it says online dating websites say they are taking all steps possible to try to stop scammers and fraudsters from misusing their services.
Well, they did. I'm kicked off.
Well, you're kicked off, but the thing is, on one of the sites I was on, I won't tell you which one, but my genuine profile, I had found something that was through Experian. And it was experiencing these are the things to look out for. That should throw up the red flags to say this may be a fraud thing. And I put it up because you could actually make a little blog. That's what it was. And I put it up as my blog that day. They removed it and they said, "We don't want you to put people off."
Oh my God! Yeah, they're trying to stop it.
Yeah.
doesn't sound like they're trying to stop it, but it does say that here that many people have fallen prey to those online who are not quite what they seem.
Yeah, I was chatting to this guy who had obviously done research on the area where I lived, and he said that he was a widower. He had a daughter who was aged, I think, 11 or 12. He was working in Nigeria. Now, as soon as he said Nigeria, I thought, Anyway, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. He said he was working in Nigeria, had his own engineering company. There was a problem with the bank and he needed to pay his workers. And I thought,
You hear about stories like this a lot.
Exactly.
It just sounds like a spam email now.
Well, it does. And in the meantime, he'd been telling me all about his daughter and how his daughter lives with his in-laws, because his wife had passed away. She stayed in the Paisley area. He gave him the name of the street and this, that and the other. It was scary at how much detail he'd actually gone into, how much he'd researched. Anyway, the question came, need to, pay my workers while the bank sorts this money out. Could you lend me? It was just over £3,000, and I said no. I'm sorry. I said I don't know you. And even if I did, no.
But then you can see as well that there is some women, maybe if they've been single for a long time, they're on their own, they're lonely, they don't have any family around them, and that type of thing, who could fall prey to that sort of thing. They could just be like.
And the guy had all the right words, and his photo looked quite normal, but then I was thinking, like, Nigeria is asking me for this money. He must be sitting in a room with about a dozen other people all typing the same sort of thing to these women. Anyway, he never spoke to me again after that. But it would be about a year later, for some reason, I just went on to another site just to have a look, and I tried Googling him. Sure enough, on another 3 websites, there was his picture with exactly the same details, so I sent in complaints to...
Scammer.
That is something you can do. You can actually Google now by image itself.
Yeah.
So if you go on,
is it called Tineye or something?
I know, you can just do it on Google. What to do is, if you've got Google in front of you, just click and drag the picture onto the Google search bar, and it'll search the picture.
Oh my goodness,
if you're like,
that's how I'm barred then.
Do you know what? I do think that's a bit dodgy. Just Google the image, and then if it comes up linked to like someone's Facebook profile with a completely different name to everything, you're like, you're lying.
That's amazing. So you just drag the picture into the browser, the Google browser, or onto the logo.
Here's one woman that should have done that. Her name's Mary Turner, and she met her husband William online and had 2 children with him. It later emerged that he was a bigamist who had fathered 13 children with 6 different women.
No.
Miss Turner was left £189,000 in debt, and she's wrote a book about her experiences now, but so I guess she's making some of her money back.
Yeah, she said he actually had 13 children by 6 different women that we found since. He ripped me off for £198,000 and took me for everything I owned.
And the 13 children are just who she's found. There's probably more than that out there.
Oh, goodness me. Who's this? Dominic Blackburn, spokesman for the 192.com, which carried out the survey, said it's very easy to present yourself in very different way online on online dating sites and social networking sites. It's far easier to do it on that than on a face-to-face basis, which is pretty obvious anyway.
If our listeners have had any experiences like that, really experiences where people have either tried to rip them off or they've been ripped off or
they've come across fake
profiles or anything, then you should let us know.
Yeah.
On Twitter at ed_radio or on Facebook at facebook.com/ED Radio. They laugh every time I say it.
Yay, well done, Christina.
You did it right there, well done.
I'm getting better.
Yeah. So Ian was trying to get up the Google page there so that he could actually show us what he was talking about. Oh, right,
I was slightly wrong. You don't do it straight on the web page. If you go to google.com or google.co.uk, click images first, and then you can just click and drag, and it'll say drop image here, and then you can search it. So, because I've just searched an image on the BBC News homepage, it's come up with the links to that website on
That's
Google.
Really good. You learn something new every day.
How about you actually type in there men's photos?
Men's photos.
Yeah, and go into images and just. Oh, you're very fast at typing men's photos.
He's just it. He knows exactly where they are.
Yeah.
Although Google said no to me.
Yeah, it looks like it. Oh,
there we go.
Okay, no one famous.
See, when I tried getting an image to put on the dating website and I put in...
No, I can't Google that actually.
What's that?
Why not average man photos?
Yeah, what is the most thing that... Yeah, no, we can't Google that.
Oh, no, right, okay.
So, let's change that. I mean, we've already got a bit of an
It's a
interesting one
Saturday
going on down
afternoon
here.
show. You see, when I tried to get a picture though for the dating sites, and I put in sort of
just
average
put in
women
dating.
pictures, then it actually just came up lots of famous people's pictures and stuff like that.
Well, yeah.
I should have just put something like that in. Maybe I wouldn't have got barred then.
Right, you just need to
We've
find...
got some average looking ones here from Dating Man Photos.
Really?
Right, can you scroll down a bit, or are you too scared?
He's too scared.
No, I'm fine.
He's not scared.
Yeah, him, that older guy.
The one that
yeah.
I've got here?
Yeah.
What's his name?
His name, I don't know.
You don't know his name?
It's a website for memoir. It's the website called Memoirs of a Single Dad.
Oh, Memoirs of a
sensitive
Single
man.
Dad.
Right. It's not going to come up with any photos now, is it? Oh, no, that's not him.
Yeah, it's actually quite a boring website. I kind of regret going on to it now.
Anyway, we'll look that out ourselves. We'll try that for ourselves.
Re-register as well with another dating site.
Yeah.
Probably get chucked off that as well.
And I still think if any young gentlemen give you their number, they should give us the number and we
Yeah.
can see what it is that they're looking for in an older lady.
So when they come running after me and they ask me for my number, I just say no, but I'll take yours, and then you're going to ring them up.
We
shall
live on air.
Do it
We're not
live
going to
on
read
air.
them out live in air. No, there's privacy that we're allowed to. However, we may phone them up and talk to them or something like
Live
that.
on air, that would be so cool.
I know, especially if the girlfriend answers.
Oh my
that
god,
would be brilliant.
That would probably happen in the majority of cases as well.
Yeah. Oh,
Do we really want to be known as the radio show that is a home wrecker, essentially?
Well, it's
not as there's
it's
it's home wrecking. If they're not declaring it, we're not the ones that are doing the home wrecking.
And that's another thing I've noticed recently. More and more people have more than one mobile phone.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder why. Quite often they'll say, oh, that one's for work and that one's for home.
I have one mobile phone and nothing hidden
I know
in it.
quite a few
I'm
people that
boring.
have 3 phones.
Oh my god.
I think that's work, rest and play.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm just boring. I have just like the one phone. But maybe I'll get another phone. Maybe that'll be the next experiment.
Okay, we've got another song coming up now, which is Ghost, Ella Henderson.
Go on, go.
I keep going to the river to pray, 'cause I need something that can wash out the pain. And I'm sleeping all these demons away. But your ghost, the ghost of you, it keeps me awake. My friends had you figured out. Yeah, there's so much inside of you. You tried hiding another you, but your evil was coming through. These eyes sitting on the wall, well, they watch every move I make. Bright light living in the shade. Your cold heart makes the spirit shake. I had to go through hell to prove I'm not insane. Had to meet the devil just to know his name, and that's when my
Girl with Susan and Christina.
Only on East Bartonshire Radio.
When you wake up, it's a new morning.
I would like to thank Grace for coming in today and talking about her experiences.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. I know it's warm in here and you have the baby. I would also like to say thank you to everybody that listened. Listen in next time. And if you've got anything to tell us, either about your experiences with dating profiles, fake or real, whether you've been scammed or not, or whether, I mean, it could have worked out really well. If it has, let us know.
Do you know, I think this is something that this show kind of needs, as a success story or two.
Yeah, absolutely. Send us your success stories with the dating. And also, again, send us your taps half pictures.
Yeah, too. You can tweet them to @ED_radio. Yes.
Or getting proper like co-hosting business there, finishing each other's sentences.
Yep. And facebook.com/ED radio, or any other opinions or anything that you would like to tell us, get in touch. And you can listen to us on mixcloud.com/ED radio.
So in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and
See you
we'll
next
speak
time.
to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Get on, get on.